Hi, I'm HEALYMEANS. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a Backyard Shenanigans garden video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let's get situated a little bit. All right, make sure we situated. This is the third of four videos where I am finally sowing my seeds. Hold on, let's turn the volume down on everything else, y'all. So this is the third of four videos where I am finally sowing my seeds for my 2025 garden. Yo, it's April, what, 22nd now. I sold the first two trays yesterday. I'm gonna sow at least one tray today. Um, and I'm trying to do these on live streams. Y'all know my success rate is about 2 6 packs, and then I have to do the other four offline. So today I'm gonna try to stay on long enough to do 3 of the trays, just to give you, just to show you a greater variety of what I'm growing. Make sure you check out live stream number 1 and live stream number 2. Both of those are from yesterday, where I showed you what I did, what I sold in the first 2 6 packs. So far I have 72 pockets sold with seeds, and now I'm going to get through another 36, at least 12 or maybe 18 of them on camera, and then the rest off camera. And y'all, let's see. So I'm trying to, hi. What's up, Regina? Hi, Marie. How y'all doing? Thank y'all so much for joining me. If you're here for the live stream or if you come back for the replay, I appreciate you both ways. Thank you very much. So I want to get into this as quickly as possible so I can do as much on camera as possible. Now you will see banners and ticklers going across the bottom of the screen. Please take a moment to check those out. Information only. If you want to act on the information, I appreciate it. If you don't, that's fine too. Just take a look at it. So the first thing I have up is all of my contact information. I am only on YouTube. I do have a Pinterest account, but I haven't logged in years. I don't even know the password. I've thought about opening up accounts on different platforms, but for right now, I'm only on YouTube. Again, like I said, this is the third of four live streams where I am finally sowing my seeds for the 2025 garden. Check out the first two live streams. The links are in the description. And this time, y'all, I do have the correct link. So let's get on that one. If you want to come up in this live stream right now, this is the link, y'all. And I made sure the link that I have at the bottom of the screen that you see right now matches the link that's in the description. I hope so. All default to the link in the description, though. They should be the same, but in case they're not, default to the link in the description. Come on up, say hi, talk about your garden, talk about what you are sowing, make comments or recommendations on what I'm sowing. Let me know. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come up. And again, I've never had anybody come up in a live before. So if I don't connect you like right away, just let me know in the comments, hey, I'm trying to come up on the live, but you haven't put me up there yet, and then we'll figure it out. All right, y'all. So I want to get hopefully 3 trays done on camera. And I'm going to show you the first tray is going to be beans. And I did pick 6 different kind of beans. So I mentioned this in the first and the second live stream. When I first started off, I was doing like 2 pockets of 3 varieties, of whatever. Then I went back and I started looking at my seeds, and I have a lot of seeds. And so then I started picking out 6 varieties for each of the pockets. So I have something different in each pocket. So like this first one is all beans, but I have 6 different varieties. I think, y'all, let's check. Because I had all of this stuff laid out for probably like 2 months, y'all, and I'm just now, sowing these seeds. So the first thing that I have is a 2022 seed. This is the Blue Lake Bush 274, and hopefully you can see this. And y'all, speaking of that, I did not realize the last video I had myself like minimize pretty much the whole video. I'm still learning, StreamYard and how to bring stuff on screen. And I did that and I forgot to like maximize myself again. So, but you know, you live and you learn. Hopefully you saw the seed packets and stuff. That's what I wanted you to see. And then the other stuff I put on the screen. Hopefully you saw that. To me, that was more important than you looking at me. But I know sometimes, you know, you like to see the person full screen. And y'all, this is still not right. Cause I think, okay, the way I had this yesterday was that you can at least see, you know, like a little bit of the table when I start sowing the seeds. So the first thing was the Blue Lake Bush 274 2022, and I'm sowing a lot of old seeds, y'all. A lot of old seeds. Most of the ones that I'm doing on this live stream, I think are gonna be 2022. I have the Burpee Stringless Green Pod, another 2022, and bush. So I have bush beans and I have pole beans, and I think I'm doing a little bit of both. You know, I don't know. We're gonna see. The contender bean. Now, this is one of my daddy favorite beans right here. The contender. He grows this every year. And matter of fact, he just was telling me yesterday his he, of course, he already sold all of his beans and everything like that, but his the beans are so long and he's growing them in his Greenstalk. Y'all, and speaking like that, let me go ahead and switch that on. I do have a referral link, affiliate link, whatever you want to call it, for Greenstalk and for StreamYard. So I'm just gonna put that information there. You know, if you're so inclined, you know, support or participate. If not, is perfectly okay. But as I'm talking, I want to put this stuff up there, you know, just to remind you. All right, so this is the Alaska wilt resistant. Now this right here, this pea, so I have peas and beans mixed in with here. This pea was fantastic for me. And I probably grew this, I don't know, year round. On my packet, I have January to March. And then again in September, I mean Alaska pea. You know, you probably would figure, okay, hey, it prefers the cooler weather or whatever. But this pea, very prolific. And this is from 2022. But I looked at this same pea, the Alaska pea. I think it was might have been 2023 or 2024. It doesn't say wilt resistant anymore. It just says Alaska. So I don't know if there is an Alaska pea and an Alaska wilt resistant pea, or if something happened to the wilt resistant crop and now they just doing plain Alaska. I'm glad I have these peas, and I'm definitely going to save some seeds because I want to have specifically the Alaska wilt resistant. I have the little Marvel pea. This is another 2022. And the Valley Green is from 99-cent store. Again, RIP 99-cent store. The I think it's American Seed. Those are from the Dollar Tree. These Fairy Morse, most of these are from either Home Depot or Lowe's, or I might have got them at a seed swap. Here is the Sugar Snap Pea. This got to be like my favorite. This is my favorite, or tied for first, with the Alaska wilt resistant peas. But these sugar, no, y'all, Sugar Snap peas and the snow peas, I'm about to tell you, definitely my favorites. And again, I pulled this stuff out months ago, so it could technically be like past the perfect time to sow the seeds and grow the crop. But y'all know me, I like to experiment. I'm gonna do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, my garden and my rules. If it grows to harvest, perfect. If it doesn't, that's okay. It'll just be like food for the next garden, because I feed the soil with the leftovers from the previous crops, the previous plantings and the seasons. So that's fine either way. So these are the first 6 packs that I'm gonna sow right now. Let me pull out one of these. And y'all, the two 6 packs, I'm looking at them right now. I have them on my living room little coffee table, but I left them inside. I did not water them after the video. So the soil is already moist, like you probably can see it's moist. But I haven't watered them or, you know, prep them in any way other than what you saw me do on the live stream, which was just put the seed in there and like cover over it. I'm doing that on purpose because I want to get all 4 of my trays sold, and then I'm going to, re-water them, moisten them, all that kind of stuff. And I'm also procrastinating and delaying because my domes are supposed to get there. And let's see if I can show you this without messing myself up too much. Nope. And guess what? I didn't put that on. I didn't put that up. I didn't add that picture, but y'all saw the dome trays from Greenstalk. I ordered them and they should be here tomorrow. This tray that you see right now is generally what I'm planting on this live stream. I have changed up some of the stuff like the flowers. I changed up the flowers. Maybe some of the herbs I changed up a little bit, but generally this is what I'm planting this time. And that's why I have that up here. Let's see. So these are the beans and the peas that I just showed you just now. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'm gonna leave this up here while I put these, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put two seeds in each cell, in each pocket. I think Greenstalk calls these pockets, just like they call the pockets on the Greenstalk. So these might be starter pockets or pocketlings or something like that. But it's a cell. So 6 cell tray. And I'm gonna do 2 seeds per cell. The first thing I have is what is this, y'all? Okay, the sugar snap peas. And I did the same thing that I did with some of the other seeds. I put them in these plastic um these little plastic baggies because it just is more organized for me with the larger seeds like these peas. It's not so bad, but I don't like to open up the seed pack and then seeds flying all over the place, or they falling out, or like this one, like half of the top flap is either ripped or missing, or it doesn't adhere fully again. So that means that the packet is not all the way closed. So if I have the seeds in these little baggies, even if the bag falls, the top rip off, whatever, the seeds are still contained. And that's definitely what I want to make sure of. I do have also y'all know my little popsicle sticks, just like I had yesterday. So I have the year and the plant on the front, and then you can see on the back I have like the variety. So I'm going to do that. Let me check the chat and see what y'all talking about. And I sure appreciate y'all being here today. This information is just a little bit about the seed starter kit, like how many trays and all of that kind of stuff. I think you only can put so many letters or characters or so many words. So if it's a little cut off a little bit, y'all, I'm sorry. But basically here I'm just telling you, I think I'm telling you about, is this the green stuff? Oh no, this is about the seating square, y'all. Look, I got the wrong information. So let me see. I didn't put that up there either. Here is the information on the green stalk. Yesterday I showed the seeding square, and then for the different vegetables, like how many vegetables that's recommended to grow per seeding square. And it's just a 12 by 12 inch, a 1 foot square space. And it says, like say if you want small beets, you can put 16 beet seeds or beet seedlings per square, or if you want larger ones you will put 9, something like that. All right, so this is the sugar snap pea. Let me um make sure I get, so see sugar snap, and then this is the pea. Hopefully I'm showing that to you right and it's not upside down, but if it is, y'all, I'm sorry. All right, next I'm gonna go with the contender. And then let me see, let's get back to this. Uh-oh. Now look, this one, these I did not have in a pack, and one of them fell on the floor, but I got at least 2 left in the bag. So I'm gonna leave that here. These are the contender beans. And Naturally Corporate says, at what point do you transfer the plants outside? Normally, I do all of this stuff outside from the beginning. And um previously I did more direct sowing where I put the seed in the ground. So wherever the permanent place is for the plant, I put the seed there, whether it's a raised bed, a bucket in the ground. So that's direct sowing. So you put the seed or the seedling, if you buy it from the store, or the starter, they'll call them a starter plant, in the permanent place. That's like a direct planting. If it's a seed, it's a direct sowing. If it's a starter, it's a direct planting. These, starting in these trays now, that's starting obviously not in a permanent place, because I'm going to eventually pop these seedlings when they grow up out and then put them in their permanent place. Or sometimes you need more time, so you would just up pot them into a larger container. Now, when am I going to take these outside? At what point do I transfer them outside? It depends on the plant, depends on the germination and the health of the plant. And when like if it gets so large that is beginning to get root bound inside the starter tray. So it depends. It can be 1 week, it can be 2 weeks. Sometimes the seedling will spend a month in this initial starter tray before it goes outside. So it depends on the particular plant. Now, something I like about these, if you can see it, like there's little slits. You see how you can see the soil like in the pockets? So these slits, these little slots, they help the plant to air prune. So instead of it becoming root bound and the roots wrap around like the inside of this pocket, when the roots hit this air, they will air prune or self prune themselves, and the roots will just grow down. They won't wrap around the cell and become root bound. So I like that. I like that about that. Now, y'all, what did I just plant? What was it? Cause now I done, was this the contender bean? Cause it was right in front of my face, y'all. I hope I answered your question, Regina. It depends on the individual plant, how fast it grows, and how quickly I can prepare its permanent home. Because everything that I'm sowing in here is either going to go in a 5-gallon bucket, is going to go in one of my mini raised beds, is going to go in Aunt Jerry's garden. That's a 6x2 raised bed. Or it will go in, I have more 5-gallon buckets, not on my 5-gallon bucket stand. They're directly on the yellow pallets. Or some of them might even go into my 15-gallon pots, 15-gallon planters or containers. So I think this was the contender, y'all. So let me find this. See, I'll be running my mouth and forgetting. So I think I'm gonna do like the 3 peas on this side and then do the 3 beans on this side. Originally, there was a rhyme or reason for planting like the specific things that I chose. But y'all, I have so many seeds and I'm greedy, so I'll be wanting to plant everything. And so that's what I'm doing. And if the seeds germinate and the seedlings do well, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine. It's the good, it's the bad, and everything in between. The successes, the failures, everything in between. I'm not afraid to say the word failure. Because sometimes that's what it is. If you plant a seed and you do, everything you can and it never germinate, I mean, that's a fail. Unless you're gonna go back and dig the seed out the soil and eat the seed. I do not recommend doing that. Hashtag not any kind of professional of any kind for anything. So please, everything that I say is merely from my experience. I'm not even gonna say it's a suggestion or a recommendation. I'm just gonna say it's just from my experience. Please do your own research, and all of that kind of stuff. Do not take anything that I say for 100% fact, even if you agree, even if you think it to be true or know it to be true. I am not giving any kind of like official advice, recommendations, or anything like that. All right, so these were the burpee stringless beans. So I have that one. Let's put this here. And I think everything in this 6-pack is 2022. All right, now I'm gonna do the Blue Lake bush bean. And let me show you. So okay, so see, this is the bush bean, and you see like these beans are right now. If you're looking at the picture on the screen, you see all of the beans come out green, right? The beans and the peas, you know, like they end up being green, but you can see like this bush bean, these are a white, off-white, cream color. And then I'll show you, because I didn't show you at first. But these burpee stringless, if you can see that, these almost look like a red bean if you're not, you know, if you ain't really looking at it too close. So beans are different colors, but it doesn't necessarily mean that or I'll say the bean seeds are, you know, different colors, but it doesn't mean that the bean plant is gonna be that color. Some beans and peas, you can eat the whole thing. Um, so like the pod, the bean, and the whole thing that you see, some of them like shelling peas, they call it shelling peas because you shell the the pea from out of the pod. Like you don't eat the pod in the bean. And I'm sure y'all probably know all of that, but just in case, you know, just in case, some things you can eat the bean in the pod or the pea in the pod if you harvest early, but if you let it go to full maturity, that pod it get just kind of like it's rough. It'll be too stringy or it'll be rough. It'll be like tough to eat or digest. So you just cook the bean, you know, or the pea inside the pod. And let me see, let me get, all right. So this is my last bean. This is the Blue Lake Bush 274. So let me go ahead and put the stick label in here. And I'm just using, this is my tweezer that I've been using for the small seeds, but I also use just this back end to kind of put a little slot, stick it down in there and move it, you know, a little side to side, just to make like a little space to put my seed in. We also talked about in the first and the second videos, you know, how deep to sow the seed. You want to do it twice the size of the seed itself. So tomato seeds, you know, those things are little bitty. You don't want to sow them too far down because you have to think, you know, once the seed opens up to germinate, those first two leaves, those cotyledon leaves, the purpose of them is to like push through the soil and get to the surface, get to that sunlight so it can start the photosynthesis and all of that kind of stuff. But if you put a little bitty seed, you know, too far down, 2 or 3 inches down into the soil, them little leaves not gonna be able to break up, you know, break through and get to the surface because it's too much. It's too much for them to handle. Um, Another reason why a lot of people use a seed starting mix and not like garden soil for their seeds when they start in seeds because it's a light and fluffy mix. Most of those, or I'll say there's two main um ingredients to seed starting mixes. One is peat moss or Canadian sphagnum peat moss, like specifically, that's one. And then another one is coconut coir. Now, there is some, I don't even want to say controversy, but there is some debate over which medium is best to use, peat moss or cocoa coir. um and just do your research on that. I'll let you know that this soil mix that I made this soil mix, it does have peat moss. And if you want to know exactly what I used, check out, I believe it's a YouTube short or a community post where I showed exactly, you know, all of the ingredients that I have. for this soil mix. Now these, it's hard for me to show this without them falling out of my hand, but these are pea seeds, and most pea seeds look the same. So these are the little marble peas, but I'm gonna tell you, when I put these Alaskan, no, what did I put? The sugar snap peas. Let me show you. Look at that. The sugar snap peas, if I didn't have them labeled, they look almost the same as the little marble peas. So another good reason to label your seeds when you're planting them, so you can know what you planted where. And I used to not be good with that. Actually, starting to do these YouTube videos on gardening just helped me to come a little bit better with like labeling my plants and stuff once I put them in the ground, or labeling my seeds, because some stuff I can look at and tell you like what it is, or I would know what it was, because I didn't normally plant exactly everything right next to each other. Or if I did, I knew what it was because I remember what I planted where. Um, but sometimes I would be doing my videos and somebody say, "Oh, well, what is that specifically? You know, what is this? What is that?" Y'all, and I didn't remember. I didn't remember. And I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna be doing these videos, I need to be able to answer questions about what I'm doing. So that helped me to get better at labeling. How you doing, PGTV? I appreciate you. I was watching you. I was watching one of your videos yesterday. I don't remember which one it was, but I was watching some of your videos yesterday. I always thumb up. Now, y'all, I don't always comment. I don't comment on every video I watch, but I always put the thumbs up. I definitely do that. And the same thing when people leave comments in my videos, y'all, I know sometimes it take me a while to like comment or acknowledge or whatever. And y'all, please forgive me. This a one woman show. I'm doing the whole thing by myself. And plus, you know, real life. So sometime I know it might be like months later and I'm just now, you know, giving your comment a thumbs up or whatever. Y'all, I'm doing what I can. Believe me, believe me. All right, so these are the Alaska wilt resistant, and I want to show you these peas. So remember I was saying how the first two peas, they look, the little marvel and the sugar snap pea, they looked like the same. They were like wrinkle peas, but these ones, I want to show you this. So no, no, no. Okay, so this is the Alaska wilt. So the little marble and the sugar snap were wrinkle peas, but look at these Alaska. I knew one was gonna fall. No, no, no. It fell on the floor, y'all. But you know I'm wasting not want not. So you know after this video, I'm gonna get down there because I dropped one bean, y'all, and I dropped one pea. And trust me, I'm gonna pick them up. But these are smooth, if you can see that, as compared to the other two peas that were wrinkled. So that could be one way to kind of, you know, distinguish um, you know, between similar, like different varieties of the same plant. Sometimes the seeds are a little bit different. So that can be one thing. So I got these peas down in here. And I've been trying to limit these live streams to 1 hour, but I really want to get through 3 of these 6 packs because I just want to give you a better representation of the different type of seeds that I'm going to be putting in this 6 pack. So these are 3 beans and 3 peas. So we have them all done. You see the variety is on the back of the popsicle stick, and then the plant and the year is on the front. I believe all of these were 2022. Yep. So let me package these together, and let me just go back to, I believe it was yeah, is this one. Now this is generally what I'm planting, if you can see that. Now some people told me yesterday that if you zoom in on the picture you can like read the words a little bit better, but y'all, I can't see that from here on my laptop. But I do have this live stream up on my television that's a much larger screen, so I'll probably be able to see it. I'll be able to see it then. So let me see, 1 2 3 4 5. Oh, look at this, 6. Okay, so all of these have the blue clothespin. Now, yesterday, I believe we did the red and the green clothespins. Now we on the blue clothespins. The next thing that I want to sew is going to be, this is a lot of herbs, and most of this, I think all of these are basil. Nope, all of them not basil, but I do have different varieties of basil. So I have the dark opal purple, and this is a 2022. I have the lemon basil. Hey, Miss Shirley. Oh, the OG in the house. Miss Shirley done bless me with her presence. Everybody, y'all, please welcome Miss Shirley. Tell her, hey, how you doing, Miss Shirley? I'm so glad that you're here. I am so glad that you're here. I'm just running my mouth as I finally sow these seeds for 2025. You know, late to the calendar, but directly on time for me. Like I said, the first one is what I said. So dark opal purple. And if y'all know some specific things about these varieties, y'all let me know. I have the lemon basil. It's another, I think both of them 2022. I have the sweet basil. Then I have a couple of root vegetables. And like I said, y'all, when I picked all of these seeds, it was in like January or February. I know it's coming toward the end of April, but I'm gonna sow them anyway. I have the Detroit dark red beet. These always do good for me. And matter of fact, I have some of these in Aunt Jerry's garden. My 6x2 raised bed, I have them in there like right now. And matter of fact, y'all, one of them done with the seed. I see flowers and everything. So might be time to like pull them out of there. Y'all, I'm so behind. I am so behind, but I was focusing on fruit trees. So like the end of last year and like this year, my focus had really been on fruit trees. I can't wait to show y'all. So next weekend is the 3-week mark where I can check my apple tree to see if any of my grafts took. Now I have a Fuji apple tree that's in the ground. I went to a Scion swap. Bud. Some people call it scion, some people call it budwood. It's basically branches off of another tree. And specifically, I got apple scions for my apple tree. I got 4 different varieties. I can't think of them offhand, but I did a either a quick clip video, a YouTube short, a community post. I probably did all 3 about me grafting my apple tree. So you have to wait 3 weeks, or it was recommended to me to wait for 3 weeks and then check to see if the grafts took. So this Saturday or Sunday will be 3 weeks, like exact, but I'm probably gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait at least till Sunday. It might be like that next Monday because I got some stuff going on this weekend. But I'm excited about that, y'all. I can't wait to show you. Please, please, please let it be successful. If I get, so I have 2 grafts, each of 4 varieties. So I have 8 grafts on my tree. Even if only 1 graft take, y'all, I'm gonna be super stoked and super excited. Here I have the Nantes coreless carrots. These are, you know, like almost like the common carrot. And I have some of those planted right now. I have the early scarlet globe radish. And then I have the French breakfast radish. Now, I've been wanting to grow these for a while. I can't remember what a pack is open, so I must have tried to grow them at least, you know, one time. These are 2023 seeds. Everything else is 2022. But I want to try to grow these again. These are supposed to be like a little less tangy than some of the other radishes. Y'all let me know. Have anybody grown the French breakfast, and let me know what you think about it. Miss Shirley said I sowed seeds and didn't record anything. I was trying to get it done. I know that's right. I know that's right. But you know why I'm doing the live stream, Miss Shirley, and for everybody, this is to help, you know, hold me accountable. Because if I didn't do these live streams, you know, like yesterday and today, and if I can't get the second live stream done today, I'm gonna get it done. I got to do it by Friday because this weekend is like totally packed. I'm not gonna have time to do a live stream. But if I didn't do this now and record it, it might be June or July, y'all, before I sow like any seeds for this year. And I definitely can't wait that late. Now, y'all, I could be late, but I ain't trying to be that late. All right, again, y'all, my little popsicle sticks for everything. And let's see here. Let me switch. And I'm just switching the banner like every so often. Just take a look. It's not for you to do anything. It's just for me to, just show my little information or whatever. Let me also see. So if somebody wants to be like brave enough, look in the description of this live stream in case what's scrolling is not correct. But if somebody want to come up in the live stream, if you could just help me test it out so I can see what I'm doing. Now, hold on, y'all, because I don't pick. Oh, I know what it is. I picked, no, now how I'm going to do this, y'all? I picked 4 root vegetables. I just realized this in 3 of the basil. And I think my plan was to do like 1 of each kind of radish because I have 2 radishes. You know what I'm going to do? Because I'm gonna plant 1 of each radish in the same cell. And we gonna see what's gonna happen. We gonna see what's gonna happen. Yeah, we gonna see. We gonna test it out. We gonna test it out. Matter of fact, let me do the 2 radishes right now. Let me just do them right now. And like I said, if anybody wants to come up in the live stream, y'all come on up. If nothing else, just to help me, test it out. So I can fake like I know what I'm doing. But I've never had anybody come up into a live stream. I'm trying to get more regular and more consistent with live stream. Y'all look at these little bitty seeds. Yes, indeed. This is the early scarlet globe. Y'all, these but that's when my tweezers come in handy right here. That's when my tweezers come in handy. All right, let's see. But y'all let me know what's going on with your gardenings, or if you have any questions about gardening. Remember, I am not a professional of any kind. Anything I say is just from my experience, even if it's, you know, backed up by documentation or scientific study or whatever. I am only giving you my opinion. I'm not giving any kind of official advice of any kind, y'all. So please just take what I say with a grain of radish seed. So this little bitty thing, me plop this right here, and let me get the hold on. Let me make sure I get the right one. All right, so early scarlet globe, and I'm gonna put that here on this side because that's where that seed is, and then I'm gonna put the other stick on the other side of the same cell. Y'all go ahead. You can say it. She crazy. She crazy. It's all right. I promise your garden will not be harmed by what I do. It won't. All right. And then this one is the French breakfast. And y'all know I must not be worried either way because planting one seed of it. No, you know what I'm gonna do, y'all? I'm gonna plant 2. I'm gonna plant 2 of each of these seeds. So we're gonna be looking for possibly 4 little germinations. We're gonna see. So I'm gonna go back to the early scarlet, but let me just do these 2 French breakfast on this side. Let's see. All right, so we got the French breakfast. Put that on this side. And then I need 1 more seed for the early scarlet. Let me put this back in here. If you see seeds that I'm showing on these live streams, or that I show y'all that I'm gonna sow, And they all old seeds now. I did an old seed giveaway. I think I did that in March. And I did have quite a few people respond. All you had to do was send me a self-addressed stamp envelope and tell me what seed you wanted. And I tried to send like at least 5 seeds. It depends on how many seeds I had and how many people asked for that particular seed. But I tried to send at least 5 seeds, of whatever you requested. And I have them in these little baggy things. So it's just a baggy. And this is exactly how I labeled it. If you could see it. So, oh Lord, I don't lean. Y'all look, let me not lean forward too much because the the propping and the cropping and zooming to get this how you see it, y'all wouldn't believe. But I don't know if you can see the words, but it basically has the year, it has the plant, it has the variety, and then the seeds. Like that's it, that's all that's on the label. I wasn't trying to like print out nothing fancy or do no kind of extra. I wasn't doing none of that. But if you're interested in trying any of these seeds that I'm sowing, like I said, just send me a self-addressed and self-stamp, stamp, postage paid, self-addressed envelope, and let me know, hey, I would like to try these variety, I would like to try these seeds or whatever. And I'll send them to you for free. It only costs you um, you know, the envelope and a stamp. Well, I guess 2 envelopes and 2 stamps. Um, and however much it costs for the ink for you to write your name on it. Just let me know. My email address and my post office box and all of that is right here. So that's there. Oh, Maureen, I sure appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you. And if I can't do the other live stream today, which I'm probably not, I'm gonna try to do it. It has to be later. It has to be by Friday. The last one is going to be by Friday. And I want to try to do it today or tomorrow because the domes for these trays are supposed to arrive tomorrow. And I want to put everything outside by then because all of my stuff I do outside. The only reason I'm able to do this inside is because this is a soil-less, seed starting mix. But y'all, like the gnats and all of that kind of stuff, y'all, I can't. I did that inside probably about, I'm gonna say maybe like let me see, this 2025, maybe 2021. Now it might have been before that, but y'all, I did. And I had my stuff inside until I was ready to put it outside. Nope, not no more, y'all. Not no more, not doing it. Y'all, now with these carrot seeds, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I said 2 like plants per cell, and I know some plants don't like to be, you know, uprooted or they don't like to be disturbed. You should direct sow. But guess what? Guess what we finna do, ladies and gentlemen? Finna put these carrot seeds up in this starter tree, and we're gonna see what happens. And I'm gonna do 4. I'm gonna do 4. And this is gonna be a test of this tweezers, y'all. We gonna see if this tweezer can help me to pick out like literally 4 carrot seeds. Y'all, my eyes can't even focus on 4 carrot seeds. So we gonna see. Mm-mm. Oh, I almost dropped it in there with the radish, y'all. Hold up. Okay, y'all. Look, I quit already. I had all right. Look, I'm just gonna put some. We gonna put this might end up being 4 or 5, y'all. I don't know. We gonna see. Okay, that's it. Cause I think I got at least 4. We gonna see. That's at least 4. These carrot seeds. I see why people just like broadcast them and then thin them later. But we talked about that, I think, also in yesterday's video about thinning. And do you thin or do you not thin your seeds? And with thinning, basically you over sow, so you sow a lot of seeds and then you pick like the strongest of the seedlings, and then you clip off the rest. So you thinning them, you know, for space by the strongest germinated seeds. I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't like thinning, y'all. I don't like thinning because I don't like to like kill a seedling. What I would try to do is like take the extras or the ones that I'm not putting in a specific spot, you know, or whatever, and I would try to grow them in just try to grow them in like a different container or something like that. But I try my best not to overseed because I don't like to thin. I don't, y'all. I try to save everything. That's why I have that tomato plant out there right now, and um a couple of volunteers, y'all. I thought I just had one volunteer. No, I have a few volunteers. And y'all, I need the space. They in my mini raised bed, and I need the space for when all of this stuff germinate. But it's so green and it's so healthy. And then the tomatoes that I planted in that back raised bed where I had a cherry tomato on one side and like a beefsteak tomato on the other side, those done rejuvenated themselves, and they have the most perfectly dark green leaves. It's like perfectly healthy, y'all. And I'm like, but I need that space. I need that space. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let them grow in the space until a week before I need the space for the seedlings. Because what I do with my mini raised beds, my buckets, you know, when I refresh the soil for the next planting season or cycle or what you call it, succession planting. Well, maybe not really for succession planting, but when I'm crossing seasons or crossing just planting times for myself, I refresh the soil and I let it rest for like a week or maybe 5 days. I don't refresh the soil and then plant in it right away. I give it like a week, you know, just to settle, give the microbes, you know, chance to work, give the earthworms, you know, chance to do their thing, and then I plant. So a week before these seedlings, whatever survive, goes into my raised beds, my buckets, my planters, whatever, I need to have the soil done. So I needed to get this done to motivate me then to get the soil prepared, you know, for the permanent homes. Now, as you may know, beet seeds, let me see if I can put this in the tweezers. All right. So you're looking at this. If I drop one more seed, y'all. But that dropped on the table, so that'd be easier for me to find. Oh, but trust, I didn't forget about them two seeds that I dropped on the floor. So if you look at this beet seed, and hopefully you can see this. I'm trying to put it where you could see it. This looks like one seed, but for beets, it's different. This can be up to 5, or sometimes even more. So just planting one of these, I'm guaranteed, well, it's a potential for like 2 to 5 different beet plants from one seed. Now, I'm still going to plant 2 seeds, even though something is telling me just plant one. But I feel like I need to plant 2, y'all. Just, okay. Look, I dropped one right here, but I'm going to get it. Y'all, I'm going to do 2. I'm going to do 2. I know I probably should only do 1, but I'm going to do 2. Let me put my little space right here. Put my space right here. I don't see nobody trying to come up in here on the live with me. Nobody want to come up and say hi. Nobody want to say, girl, you know you planting this way too late. It's too hot to be planting this. It's too hot to be planting that. Nobody want to say nothing. Or nobody want to say what they are planting in their garden. Or if you're having any challenges, the pest pressure, I'm gonna say this. So the pest pressure so far has not been a lot, but I'm gonna tell you what's going on as far as with pests now. Y'all, black aphids on my elephant garlic. Now this is the second time. This is the second time that I've been dealing with those aphids. Um, on my, wait, hold on, I turned this the wrong way. This the second time I've been having to deal with black aphids on my elephant garlic. Now, apparently, the elephant garlic is too mild because it's mild. It's kind of like a cross between an onion and a garlic, but apparently it does not have enough of like the chemicals and stuff that deters aphids, because aphids usually don't like alliums like onions and garlic and stuff, but maybe elephant garlic is just so mild, that it doesn't have all of the chemicals that regular onions and garlic have that normally deter the aphids, y'all. And it's specifically the black aphids. There's no other kind of aphid on my elephant garlic except for the black aphids. I talked to someone who told me to try a simple solution of liquid soap, like the Dr. Bronner's, like Castile soap. So liquid soap, vegetable oil, and then water. So I have a 32-ounce bottle. I did either 1 or 2 tablespoons of the Castile soap, 1 or 2 tablespoons of the vegetable oil, shake it up real good, and then spray it. Try to spray it in the morning, early in the morning, or late in the evening. And so far, I've done it twice, maybe like 3 days apart. The first day I sprayed it, the next 2 days, I didn't see any more aphids. But you see, after that third day, I did see more. The reason why you have to like continue with the treatment, whatever treatment you choose, continue with the treatment. You might do hand picking or hand smashing or squishing. You need to go out and check like every day or every other day, like every 3 days at the longest, because when you smashing, you might get the adults, but you're not getting the eggs. You get some of the adults, but not all of them. So you have to continue. You have to repeat your treatment plan, sometimes for days, sometimes for weeks, sometimes for a couple months, depending on the pest, depending on the treatment, the time of year, the plant, all of that kind of stuff. So I did see kind of like a halt in the growth of the aphids, but like 3 days later, I saw them again. So I treated a second time. I need to go outside and check because it's been another like 2 or 3 days, and then I'm gonna treat it again. And I mean, cast a couple tablespoons of Castile soap, couple tablespoons of the vegetable oil, and the vegetable oil just helps the Castile soap to stick to the leaves and stick to the pest, and then the rest, water, so you can spray it out, and it's not 100% concentration of soap and oil on your plant. Because even though with elephant garlic, the thing that I'm going to eat, the thing that I want is below the ground. Obviously it uses the leaves for photosynthesis and everything, so it can grow those nice huge bulbs. So I don't want to apply anything that's going to, destroy or damage fully the leaves, because that's how the bulbs grow. But I'm going to let y'all know, because I had another solution that I had tried from a while back. So it was those same ingredients. It was I believe it was the Castile soap, water, it was hydrogen peroxide, and maybe the oil. I did a video on it and I like that. It does work, but it's sometimes it could be too strong. Or it could have been, y'all, that I just went crazy spraying the solution. And also the thing about that particular solution, because it has hydrogen peroxide in it, as soon as it hit the water, which is also in the mix, it start breaking down. So you only make what you need, and you have to use all of it like at that time, within 10 to 20 minutes. With this solution, that's just the Castile soap, the vegetable oil, and the water, that lasts forever. And so I don't have to like rush and use it. I don't have to, make only a certain amount and then, remake the amount the next time. With this one, it lasts longer. I can make more and just save it in a bottle and like every 3 days, until I use it all. Now I like that original mix that I told y'all about with the hydrogen peroxide. The hydrogen peroxide is strong. And that I think really is the key ingredient for that solution because it kills them dead. You still have to repeat the application, but that hydrogen peroxide don't play. Um, this other solution though, I'm gonna try this a few more times though, and we're gonna see how it's gonna work. Now, see y'all, I'm running my mouth. Look at it. Look, I'm almost to an hour now, and I still have the 3 basils to go. For this tray, and I want to do a third tray. So if y'all can stick with me, I sure appreciate y'all being here. If you're here for the live stream or if you here for the replay, stick with me for a little while. I want to get through the basil and then I want to show you one other set that I'm sewing in this 6-pack tray. I think you're gonna like it. I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I want you to stick around. But let me hurry up and get these basil seeds in here. Another seed that is just, oh my goodness, y'all, look how small. Look how small these seeds are. Oh, y'all looking at this, it remind me of them doggone black aphids. They just about this size, y'all. They just about this size. Y'all, what if the seeds if the seeds started moving around and crawling up in this bag? I had to end this live stream, y'all. But no, these are these are basil seeds. This first one is the lemon. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that right here. And y'all, for the basil, I ain't gonna lie to you. Trying to do 2 seeds and all y'all know I ain't doing that. I am not going to do that. I'm gonna try to just sprinkle like a few, but just trying to do like 2 seeds per cell, y'all. We can't do that. We can't do that. All right, Regina, I sure appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Now, this is the third live stream. This one is the third live stream. I have one more to go. If you get a chance, y'all check out the first and the second live stream. Now, in the first live stream, I gotta tell you, I had some technical difficulty because I was running my mouth and I was on mute, y'all. Shout out to Joy of the Garden and Home, who helped me realize. She was like, "We can't hear you. We can't hear you." So shout out for that. And then the second one, y'all, I forgot. I think something happened in the second one too, y'all, but I'm learning. I'm getting there. Y'all laugh with me, not at me, because I'm laughing too. Hey, Shawnee, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you for joining us. We are just getting through me sowing these seeds. This is the third of 4 live streams where I'm sowing seeds for my 2025 garden. Y'all, that was the lemon basil. That was the lemon basil. And another reason why I'm sowing this basil, y'all, because I'm hoping that it will sprout up pretty quickly because I want to put this basil around my tomatoes. But y'all, I was thinking since I don't waited so late, I might have to just go to the store and get some basil, some marigold. Y'all, what else people put around their tomatoes? Y'all, let me know. I know basil, marigold, and I just watched a video. I think I just watched it this morning of a gardener reading from like a gardening book, and he named like 5 things to plant around your tomatoes to help them out. To help against like the tomato hornworm and the pests and all of that stuff. Um, I forgot the 5 things, but I do remember the basil. I remember the marigold. I don't know if he said, did he say calendula, y'all? I don't remember. Um, but one of my local garden centers, they have 6 packs of flowers. So a pack. So basically 6 flowers for $6. And if I'd have sold my seeds early enough, I would have had my own flowers, but I don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and I got to pay the price. I got to pay the price. But $6 for a 6 pack, that's not too bad. And who knows, I might go there and they might be even cheaper because it is getting later in the season. And I'm going to a local nursery, Vice, going to Home Depot or Lowe's or one of the other big box stores because I'm trying to support local. That's all. And I know sometimes like the big box stores, they have the stuff cheaper. It's less expensive. And y'all look, I count pennies. So I do watch my money. But at the same time, I do try to support local because, time is hard. These small businesses, they get it. They feel changes in the economy quicker and for longer than we do as consumers, because these are the people that's trying to bring us the products and services that we purchase. So they feel it when prices go up or resources go down or whatever. It's the mom and pop stores that always get the short end of the stick, like the local stores. These big box stores, they have money and they can weather a storm, a financial storm, natural disaster storm, political storm, whatever it is. They are more able to get through that stuff and come out on the other side. But y'all, how many mom and pop stores or how many places that you saw you know during with 2020 2021 time frame, because I still don't know if you could say the word. I probably can't say the word without getting a flag or whatever. But how many mom and pop stores did we see just disappear? It wasn't just that we're gonna be closed for 1 or 2 months and then we're gonna come back. No, they could not weather the storm. Um and I mean, part of the reason was because we couldn't even go nowhere. We couldn't even go to the store to support them. Um but I don't want I ain't trying to get all into that, but I'm just saying I like to support local if I can. Um while at the same time, managing my coins and checking my purse too. But that's why I'm probably going to go to that local nursery and get some marigolds and some basil to put around these tomatoes. I'm thinking even though I'm sowing these seeds later, because it's getting warmer, I'm thinking that the plants are going to germinate faster just because it is warmer. All right, y'all. That's all of the basils. That last one was the dark opal purple basil. So I have that going. Now we done with that. Y'all look, let me put my little clothespin, my color coordinated clothespin. We doing the blue pile today. So we did the peas and the beans. This is basil and root vegetables. Let me put this back in the tray. And now the last 6-pack that I want to show y'all on camera on during this live stream, and the other 3 I'm gonna do off camera, and then the next live stream is going to be the last one, and it's gonna be the 4th tray. Look what I got, y'all. I have sunflowers, sunflowers, sunflowers. I like sunflowers. Who in here like sunflowers? And tell me, what's your favorite variety of sunflowers? I like sunflowers. I think I grew them maybe 2 years ago, maybe 2022, 2023. I believe I grew sunflowers. I had the American, let me see, the American giant and the Russian mammoth is what I had. And do y'all know, not the American giant did not do well, but the Russian mammoth, y'all tore it up. 6 feet tall, but I had them in the back corner, that raised bed. And I think the wind, they were really affected by the wind, but y'all, they were at least 6 feet. They were at least 6 feet. Now I'm still gonna sow 2 seeds of each kind, and I'm hoping that all of them germinate, because I like it. I like sunflowers, and I'm gonna show y'all these kinds. So here is the first one. So the mammoth Russian, And then these are 2022 seeds, Fairy Morse. So if you see Fairy Morse in my stash, I got it from Home Depot, I got it from Lowe's, or I got it from a seed swap. And then the rest of these, all of the rest of these, y'all, are from the seed swap that I went to last September. And they are all different varieties of sunflowers that I don't think that I've ever grown myself. So the first one, if you can see this, this is chocolate, a chocolate sunflower. It's a dwarf sunflower. It's only 2 feet tall. And I like that because I want to have like some different height, like different height. Um, Now these Russian mammoth, they get up to 12 feet, 7 to 12 feet tall on the Russian mammoth, as compared to the chocolate sunflower, which is 2 feet tall. Then I have here, this is the honey bear sunflower. Again, these are all from a seed swap. I have the coastal sunflower, and this is local to California. So I have that. I have the bush. Let me see the bush. Yeah. So I think these are actually the same. Now this says bush sunflower, but if you can see like the scientific name, and this is where scientific names become really important because locally or regionally, people will call plants and flowers and all that kind of stuff different names. But if you look at the scientific name, that'll help you better determine what it really is. Because the coastal sunflower and this is the bush sunflower, they both have the same scientific name. I don't know if this is showing up because I can't see in front of me, but see two different common names, but the same scientific name. But I'm gonna plant both of them, just in case something come up a little bit different. And then the last one I have is a lemon queen sunflower. This is 2024 also. And y'all, I am so excited. And look at this. So look at that. Isn't that cute? The little pouch and stuff that they came in. Some people for these seed swaps, like they really go out. This is a little sachet, and you can reuse this. Y'all know I'm gonna reuse it. Um, a lot of people use these brown, like the brown envelopes, and I like them because it keeps the sunlight out. In case you're not able to store your seeds in a cool, dry, dark place. Um, the brown envelopes, they really help out. So let me just show you. These are what the lemon queen sunflower seeds look like. And again, I'm gonna sow two. What is my little tool? I'm gonna sow 2 seeds per tray. Now I also understand that some seeds you can soak them for like 24 hours, to try to improve germination and stuff. I didn't do that with any of these. Like I said, y'all, I feel like I'm just behind on air. I feel like I'm behind on the calendar, like the garden calendar, but something is telling me that I'm on time for me, or on time for my zone, or on time for my area. And I've watched a few other gardeners who have come online, and posted videos, and they said, you know what, I'm not sure what it is or what's going on, but something has told me to wait and to delay my sowing, delay my planting, basically delay my garden by a few weeks or like a couple months. I have watched multiple videos of gardeners saying that for this year. Now, and this is different, people who they're not growing in the same area. They probably like don't know each other because I watch garden videos from all around the world. So not just California, not just the United States, but I watch garden videos from all around the world, and multiple gardeners and homesteaders and stuff like that have posted videos saying that something was just telling them to delay their gardening. So, it might be something to it. It might be something to it, y'all. I don't know. So let me get the right label. This is the lemon queen. So we'll have that right here. I'm gonna put this back in the sachet, y'all. But I thought that was so cute that they packaged it like that. And y'all let me know, have anybody ever gone to seed swaps like in their area? And then what kind of things do you get? Hi Netta, how you doing? Thank you for joining us today. Well, I'm just trying to finally sow my seeds for my 2025 garden. But y'all let me know, have anybody gone to like local seed swaps? I know that they have a couple, especially in the South. In the South and like the Southeast and stuff, y'all have like a lot of seed swaps and seed expo and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that they have that somewhere out here in California. I just either I haven't heard of it or I just don't know where it is. A lot of stuff is like in the middle to like the north of California, because y'all know California is a long state. It's a big state. It's a long state, y'all. And the difference between Northern California, like the middle part, and then Southern California, I promise you, it might as well be three different states because the people, the climate, the environment, the thought processes and stuff. This might as well be three separate states. I'm telling y'all. But there's a couple seed swaps that I go to. Now y'all look at these. Look at these seeds. Now I showed y'all first we did the lemon queen and it looked like the sunflower that you buy from the store and you eat. Now look at these sunflower seeds. Look at that. They don't look the same at all. Um and I don't even know if I should just do two of these or if I should, put a few. Y'all look, this what I'm gonna do with this one. I'm just going to put I'm gonna just kind of scrape away the surface a little bit. And I'm just gonna sprinkle. This might be 3 or 4, but let me not let me not like smash them between my fingers because I don't want to break them. Yo, I drop about 10 flakes up in there. We're gonna see what happened because I've never seen a sunflower seed that's pretty much like a little flake. Um and I am not an expert on sunflower seeds or sunflower plants or anything, but I saw these at the seed swap and I just was like, let me try some of these different varieties. So, Florida, yes, yep, yep. I know because if you talk to people that's like in Pensacola, like the Panhandle, like the very what you would say the northwest of Florida on that side of the panhandle. But then if you talk to somebody or whatever that's even like in Jacksonville, that's still North Florida, but it's like Northeast Florida. And then, you go down even in the middle, like Tampa, Orlando part, and then you go down to like Miami, all different, it's just different. It's different. And I like being in a place or a state where you can travel to just different areas of that same state. And it's like a totally different experience. Like you're in a totally different place. I like that. All right, y'all. Now we're gonna go. Now I showed y'all what the coastal sunflower look like. This one says bush sunflower, but y'all remember it had the same scientific name. And let me see what these seeds look like. Let's see what they look like. And then let's switch up the banner. Y'all, I'm gonna keep asking until somebody do it. Now I hope y'all do it on this live stream, but if you don't, I'm gonna ask again on the other live stream. Somebody please come up. Y'all come up. Just help me test. Oh, now hold up now, y'all. Cause look, these seeds, they flat, but these seeds look different. Um, these seeds look different than the other ones, even though they had the same scientific name. Y'all, and they must have about 1,000 seeds up in here. I'm for real. Like this whole thing is padded with seeds. This, like, the whole bottom half of this thing is full of seeds. There's a lot of seeds up in here. So I don't know. Maybe it is a little bit different. Maybe it is a little bit different. So I think I'm gonna do, because these seeds are flat, but I can clearly see and, distinguish them from each other, unlike the other seeds that I just sowed. So I'm gonna put three. I'm gonna put three, and let's see what happens um with these. Again, y'all, I'm so glad that y'all are here joining me in these live streams. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Share the live streams. If you're coming for the replay, I sure appreciate you. But y'all help to get the word out about my channel. And I definitely do the same, because there's so many wonderful garden channels out here. Maybe they smaller channels, so they don't really get um like the recognition, like the YouTube algorithm might not have picked up on them yet. But we have some good garden channels out here. Matter of fact, I just found a new channel. I think she playing with the name a little bit, but her name is T, and she's in New Orleans. And I think the last time I saw, when she came up in the chat yesterday, and I think it was Stay Woke, Grow Your Own Food. And then I think it might have been Tea in the Garden, but TEE. And she's from New Orleans. She have a garden channel. She's new or newer at gardening. And she spent some time with us yesterday, and I sure appreciate that. Let me see. This was the bush. All right, this was the bush sunflower. Um, yeah, so please help me out. Like the video, share my video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And help me out like that. Let's see. Hey, Miss Linda. T-Nog in the house, y'all. Miss Linda. Now, I know all of y'all subscribe to her channel already. Miss Linda T-Nog. Hey, Miss Linda, I was just talking about a new gardener I found in New Orleans. You probably already know about her. Her name is T. She been playing around with the name of her channel. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's TEE. And I think yesterday she came up as Stay Woke, Grow Your Own Food, or something like that. Anyway, she in New Orleans. I've been watching her videos. I just now listening to her videos, I can hear her accent, right? But of course, I don't hear my own. I don't hear my own. And Miss Linda, since you world renowned, your accent might not be as strong, as mine. But oh yeah, you're gonna talk about it tonight. Well, you know what? I need to hurry up and see what I can do to be in your live stream, because my schedule had been crazy and I've been missing your live streams, Miss Linda. But I dang sure be there for the replay. Believe that, with the like button pressed. So let me see. I got 3 more sunflowers to go, y'all, and then we're gonna wrap this up. And I'm gonna do the other 3 6-packs off camera. I'm not gonna be able to get that last live stream today, so I'm gonna try to get it tomorrow. I know, Miss Linda, you don't have no accent. I know, baby. Let me see. So I'm gonna do the honey bear right now. So I looked up pictures of these like a while back when I first got these seeds, y'all, but that was back in September. So if you ask me what they look like, I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you, but hopefully these seeds will germinate and grow large enough so we can, see together what these different sunflowers look like. And so potentially I can have up to 6 different sunflowers in my garden. And I'm really hoping so. All right, now here, these honey bear sunflowers, these look like small sunflower seeds that buy in a pack and eat. So these look similar to the lemon queen, but the coastal and the bush sunflower seeds look like just little flat, just little flat, wispy flakes almost. So we're gonna see, and I did not pre-soak any of these seeds. Like I didn't pre-soak any of them. And I know sometimes that can, give you an advantage to the germination, but I'm kind of purposely like I'm sowing these seeds, but I'm not gonna water them in extra. The soil is already moist, but I'm not gonna water them in or do anything else to them until I get the domes that fit over these 6-packs, and that should arrive tomorrow. But I kind of, like I'm sowing the seeds in moist soil, but I'm not watering them in because I kind of want to put everything outside at the same time. Because even though all of this stuff is in here now, y'all, this can't stay in my house. It got to go outside. So I have to work with the elements in my area because I do everything outside, and I don't have a greenhouse or anything like that. I got my patio tables outside. I got one of them out in the sun. I got one of them here uh under like the little porch patio area in the backyard. And then everything else is out in the sun, my raised beds, my buckets and stuff like that. So I have to work with the elements. Y'all, after that time that I did the did everything inside, and my dining room table got taken over with all of the stuff that I was sewing. But then also when them gnats and all that kind of stuff start flying around, y'all, that was it. That was the first and the last of me planting and doing stuff inside. We had to go outside. So shout out to everybody that have like indoor or protected spaces to start your seeds in. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, but I don't have that. So, I work with what I have. Now, Netta, you say you planted so many sunflower seeds. What kind? What kind of sunflower did you plant? And y'all look at these seeds now. These are the chocolate sunflower. It's more of a flat seed, like the coastal and the bush. So I want to be careful, with these seeds, because I don't want to break them. Like they so flat and wispy. But that's why now these still, look more whole than those what was it? The coastal ones. Y'all, the coastal ones just look like little flakes. And if I didn't know no better, I would be like, this just look like little, I don't know, like flakes of dirt or something. They don't really look like a seed, but that's why I sprinkle extra, because I just want to make sure out of all the stuff I sprinkled, hopefully I got at least one seed in there, y'all. All right, so this is the chocolate. Let me go ahead and put my little popsicle stick label in here, and then the very last one, which is the first one I showed, is the Mammoth Russian. And these did very well for me. Y'all, I was wondering why the American Giant, didn't do as well as the Russian Mammoth, but hey, it is what it is. So I'm gonna do more of these Russian Mammoths, and this looks, more like the traditional sunflower seed that we see in the store. So this would be the last one. And I'm gonna do 2 of these. Now, some of them I've been doing 3. Some of them I just been kind of like broadcasting inside the cell. This one, I'm gonna do 2. Let me see if I can pick like 2 of like the fattest seeds, and I'm just gonna do 2 of the. No, you know what? Y'all. I'm gonna do 3. I'm gonna do 3 of these, and I don't know. Has anybody did like multiple sunflower, seeds in a cell? Like, do they mind having their roots disturbed? With since I'm gonna need to separate them and then transplant them into their permanent home. Like, do they mind, or do sunflowers, are they picky and they really don't like their roots disturbed? Because guess what? The roots gonna be disturbed. They're gonna be disturbed, and hopefully, they could stand it. So mammoth teddy bear, a burgundy colored one. Oh. So was this last year? Okay, y'all look, I got a quick topic before I go. Um and I Miss Linda, you probably already talked about this. I think you mentioned this or you might have had like a whole like topic or discussion on it. Y'all, my 2024 garden. So last year's gardening, it was not, I mean, it wasn't like a total fail or nothing like that, but it just wasn't like what it used to be or what it usually is. I had a lot of, ups and downs, like sideways and diagonals. My 2024 garden just, it wasn't all, I don't know. It wasn't regular to me. It wasn't regular. Y'all, let me know, how did y'all 2024 garden go, like overall, or was it like specific, plants or whatever that, some stuff like didn't act right, or maybe some stuff did extra well, exceedingly well last year. I'm gonna tell y'all though, from my experience. All right, ladies and gentlemen, can y'all hear me and see me? Am I back? I think I'm back, but y'all let me know. Let me know if I'm back. Um Now see, this when I started asking people, about their 2024 garden. Now I was connected all that time. Now all of a sudden, stuff ain't right. All right, thank you, Miss Linda. I'm just trying to find out if I was the only one that just had. It was like a strange 2024 garden. Like I said, it wasn't like total fails or nothing, but it just, y'all, it was strange. It was, and I'm just wondering, like, if I was the only one. Just wondering if I was the only one. Um, Let me do the same thing I did in um the first two videos. So these are the seeds that I'm gonna do off camera, and I'm gonna show you these. So I have some more herbs. I'm gonna be doing catnip. I'm gonna be doing chives. I'm gonna be doing lemon balm. I also have oregano. I'll be doing that. And I believe most of these so far, these are 2022 seeds. I have some rosemary. And then I have broadleaf sage. Now I still have broadleaf sage growing right now. Let me see of any of these. My lemon balm bit the dust on me. The rosemary, I still have that. And the rest of these, I either have not planted recently, or they bit the dust. But I do still have the sage and the rosemary growing. But I want to grow some more. I have those same buckets that Miss Linda had, them black buckets from Dollar Tree. I had bought them, and my original intention was to put herbs in them to replace the plastic containers I had in between my fruit trees, the fruit trees that I have in the pots. And I have them, I drilled the holes in the bottom, they full of soil. I have them set up. I just have to put, put the herbs in them. So I'm gonna be putting these in a 6-pack. Then I have a bunch of mints, which y'all know the mints have to go in a container because I'm not trying to have my whole garden or my whole yard like overtaken. Now these are another Etsy store. This is Garden Easy, and these are 2024. So I have Korean mint, and I bought these because I didn't have them before and I'm interested in them. So I have Korean mint, I have lemon mint, and I'm thinking about teas and stuff like that because I see a lot of y'all, Miss Linda too, but I see a lot of people, using their herbs and making herbal teas, and I'm all about that too. I have Mexican mint. And then here from Survival Garden Seeds, I have peppermint. Now, what I have growing out in my garden now is the spearmint, and I need more peppermint. So that's why I'm going to sow that. I have thyme. I'm going to put that. That's a 2022 seed. The rest of them so far was 2024. And then my last uh herb of the last 6-pack, this is from Homestead Heart, and these are moringa seeds. And I know Miss Linda finna light up. I know she about she probably jumped out of seat. She know everything about moringa. And I have moringa seeds from my daddy. I got moringa seeds from before, and I keep saying every year I keep saying I'm gonna sow the moringa seeds. I'm gonna sow the moringa seeds. I'm gonna sow the moringa seeds. Y'all, I ain't sold them, but guess what? I'm gonna sow them. Whether it's the right time or the wrong time, it's about to be my time, and I'm gonna finally sow these moringa seeds, and we're gonna see, what's gonna happen. I have to keep the plant small though. I know it likes to grow into what that is, a jack and a beanstalk, size tree and plant. I can't do it. Now, Miss Linda, that's what I don't have. I do not have the chocolate mint. I don't have chocolate mint, and I do want that. All right, y'all. And then the last 6-pack I have is going to be some flowers. Now, if you look at that picture that I had, let me show y'all because I was supposed to do. Oh, y'all, I can't do it because now all of the everything I had in the live stream, all of the stuff in StreamYard done erased, and I'm not about to go back because it took me like a lot. It took me a lot to get all that stuff set up, and I just can't go back through it again. But these are most of them are from the Dollar Tree 99-cent store, RIP 99-cent store, and then I think I got one of these from Home Depot. But I have the Forget Me Not. And y'all see, yep, 4 for $1 when it used to be still the Dollar Tree. That's 2023 seeds. Also, I have marigold, and these are the French dwarf double mixed colors. I'm growing these for color in the garden and like as a trap flower, yo. I have nasturtium. These are 2022 seeds, and this is the dwarf jewel mixed colors. I have the red corn poppy. And this is just for, just for some color. I have the Sweet William single mixed color. And then I have the Lilliput zinnia. And I know for a fact that some of these need to be planted during the cool season. Some of them need stratification. I'm planting them today. I'm sowing the seeds today. If they make it, fine. If they don't, I'll sow them again in the fall. I'm just trying to get some color. Or y'all look at that. One of the beets trying to get away from me. Nope. And y'all know, so that was the one beet that fell on the table. But y'all know I still have the bean seed and something else that fell on the floor. Oh, a bean and a pea. And that's big enough for me to see it. So I'm definitely gonna get those and put them right back in the pack. So y'all, these are all of the seeds that I'm going to sow in this tray. So we have 3 done, And then I just showed you the seeds from the 3 more. And then after this, I have one more live stream that's gonna be the final six-pack trays. And I'm gonna be doing that 2014 spinach, y'all. You gotta come back and see that one. I don't have a definite day or time, but I try to give as much head notice. So I like this live stream today. I think I was able to give like a 2-hour head notice or whatever. And I understand, everybody can't join for the live stream, but please share out this video, like and subscribe before you leave, so people can come back for the replay, or you can come back for the replay if you miss what was in the beginning. I appreciate y'all very much. I really do. I have 3 6-packs to sew right now, y'all. And then after this, I gotta do exercise because yesterday I went off the rails a little bit. So I know I'm doing my trail walk tomorrow. Y'all know on Wednesdays I do my trail walk. I do the hills. This is April, so I'm doing the hills up and down 4 times, and I'm getting better at it, y'all. I'm able to like start off faster and go a little bit further before I have to stop and catch my breath. I'm really improving, and a lot of it has to do with, the weight that I've been losing. I'm still losing weight. It's slower. I'm losing weight slower than what I initially was, but I think that happens anytime you start like a new regimen, the weight come off quick. I think that's to like get you motivated or get you like hyped up to keep going. So when the weight loss slow down, you like, but hey, it's still going. I'm making progress, all of that kind of stuff. So I do have my trail walk tomorrow, but I gotta exercise today, y'all, because I'm really just trying to stick with what I'm doing. It's working. I feel the difference. I'm finally starting to see the difference. At first, I didn't see the difference. Other people saw it, but I couldn't see anything. And, it's one thing even to feel from the inside that there's a positive change happening. For me, that carries me like a little bit, but at some point, I need to see something. And I finally started seeing something. So even though the weight loss itself, like the numbers have slowed down, I've seen enough to keep me motivated, keep me encouraged, and y'all, I can't wait. I'm gonna be making a doctor's appointment like sometime this summer, and I want to, then I can medically see, if there's improvements and changes. I can already feel it. I'm starting to see it, but when you see it on paper, like from your doctor, that's, to me, that's well, for me, not talk about anybody else, not a professional of any kind, not even a suggestion, recommendation, none of that. Y'all know we got to put out the disclaimers because my channel is too small. I can't get away with some stuff that other people be saying, like all kind of stuff on their channel. I had to be doing secret code and sign language and all of that and still might get caught. But y'all, that's all I have for this video. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Click that notifications bell. Make sure it is set to all. Like, comment, and share with everyone you know. And until next time, be safe, be well, and be blessed. And y'all know I was supposed to click the end stream and be ready so it could like time and go off perfectly. But nope, I didn't. End stream, yes. See y'all later.